or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what do you want to talk about?
How did you get picked for the part?
I auditioned.
Out of how many other people?
I didn't know.
Wasn't one?
I didn't ask them.
That makes sense.
Okay.
And you've done a lot with other like British theater as well. What other parts have you played?
Yeah, I've done tons of stuff, you know, and I've just been asked, is Rocky like your favorite and everything? Nothing's my favorite. I love everything that I've done. And the thing is that, you know, for example, I played Lady Macbeth, and that's a better part than Magenta, because better lines, better scenes. Magenta's actually doesn't very much to say, but she gets a lot of screen time. But I did her on the stage. The reason I did the Rocky Horror Show on stage in a 60-seat theatre for £18 a week, which my agent wasn't very pleased about because there's no 10% out of that. So I said to my agent, what is it about this show? And he said, I think it's something about a circus. I said, oh. And he wasn't wrong. I've been in the circus for 40 years. I joined the circus. This has taken me around the world. It's been extraordinary. And the people involved, like Nell said, we were in Seattle and little Nell, the woman, said, don't you get sick of these Comicons? Because they're quite new for us to be doing. And she said, well, no, it's very nice to be worshipped. Can you be quiet? We're doing an interview. I say, give some respect. People are unbelievable. Sorry, darling. Anyway, and I get very cross about that. And the lady said, we're being interviewed on TV, and she said, I could do with a bit of that, being worshipped. And Nell said, get a dog. I know. I really fell off my chair. That was good, wasn't it? You know, but it is extraordinary, and Rocky Horror has affected so many people's lives. It wasn't our choice. It wasn't out to affect lives. It's what people took from the film themselves. And I did a show with Peaches Christ, who's the drag queen of San Francisco. And Peaches, in every show we did, said in a question and interview, Rocky Horror at the age of 15 changed my life, meaning finding out about his sexuality or whatever. And Richard O'Brien's Don't Dream It, Be It, you know. So when we began the show, it wasn't about changing lives. There was no message in that show. There were theses written about it afterwards. The audience chose what it said. It was their choice.
It was huge. I mean, we're from Las Vegas. It was huge in the 80s. I graduated in 87, and back in the 80s, it was massive. I mean,
do you still know how to do the dance?
How could I forget that?
do you still sing in shows on Broadway now?
No, the last film I did was Lords of Salem with Rob Zombie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He sings. He's called White Zombie. Live and dead, girl. Excuse me, we're doing an interview. Can you be quiet?
That's funny.
Sorry.
Okay.
It's St. Patrick's Day. I'm allowed to say anything I like. I'm Irish.
Are you? I'm like
I'm from Belfast, Northern Ireland.
I'm like 1/16. My great grandfather, all the way back. So they're all Irish in that one part, but or Scottish. We're not positive.
I heard they're really partying a lot over there today.
No, they party more here.
Oh, do they?
Do they really?
Oh.
America is Irish.
Oh yeah, a lot. Yeah,
Italian.
like basically anybody was law enforcement in New York in the 1880s,
Darling,
1890s.
where I came from, Belfast, Northern Ireland, if I wore a shamrock, I'd have a gun in my stomach.
Oh wow.
We
Belfast.
didn't celebrate St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, because
Between the Protestants and Catholic.
Yeah,
So if you're a Protestant, you didn't wear a shamrock.
true.
It was horrible.
Belfast.
I left.
Wow.
I mean, I left Northern Ireland at the age of 17. I'm a Belfast girl.
Awesome.
And, you know, so we Irish are passionate people. We're not English.
Exactly.
You know?
I'm a Las Vegas girl.
Titanic came from there.
We're from
Whitehall. I read a book recently about the Titanic, the history of the Titanic, and they talked about actually the people building the ship.
My
and everything.
grandfather built it.
Oh wow!
And they've just made a mural in Belfast. He's become a hero. Quite extraordinary. I never knew him. He died before I was born.
Wow.
John Quinn, father of my father, James Connolly Quinn.
Oh wow!
And then they gave him a headstone, the city, because he was one of the first, he was a docker, and he was one of the first, like, trade unionists, like, to start unions for the dockers. But he built the Titanic, and he went to Southampton, and the story goes he was meant to board the Titanic, but they had crew enough, and they didn't sail with it.
Wow.
Hence, you wouldn't be talking to me.
By the grace of God. Talk about either good timing or the grace of God.
So it's extraordinary. Last time I went home to Belfast to open the Belfast Film Festival, and I suddenly saw this whole thing about the Titanic going on. I thought the place had gone mad. And now every American in the world, every tourist is in Northern Ireland, and they've cleaned up all the shipyard area and everything, and they made this fantastic tourist industry out of the Titanic due to that film.
Oh well, it's just we have to wrap it up. So,
Yeah.
nice to meet you.
You too.
Thank you. I love
Bless
This
your
is
heart.
David with
Have
Refusal.
fun.
That's cool.
Dawn Griffin,
Yeah.
famous actress, known for Rocky Horror, the Picture Show, and much, much, much more.
Adorable.